What's up, guys? In this video we're going to make a really simple SciFi Blockout. So we're just going to hop right into it. I will be using hard ops and Boxcutter because speed. I'm going to press Shift A and let's add in a plane here, and with this plane I want to scale it a bit on the y-axis, so just a bit skinnier like that. And then I want to rotate this. Let's go and do, what view is this? I guess 1, 3, 1, whatever. We're going to go into this view and rotate this 45 degrees. So R negative 45, and just move this up a bit. Right about there is okay. And then I just want to take this edge right here and extrude it across. So E and then X, and then E, and then hold Control to kind of, move it down this way. And we're going to have something like this. And this is probably a bit too steep, so we'll even come back in and do something like that. Regardless, this is kind of the effect I want. Now I do want to make sure our scale is uniform, so I'm going to press Control A and apply scale. Now we kind of have this shape going on. We could even make it a bit bigger and apply the scale again. Now I want to take these two edges and bevel them. I'm going to give it like 10 segments, so it looks nice and round. And we'll do one over here like that, and Q and then sharpen. And this is kind of the effect I want. We have a really nice bevel around the edges, and at this point we can add a solidify modifier and make it a bit bigger like that. And also I'd really recommend that you let's make this a bit smaller so we don't hit that intersection point. I would recommend that you turn on this cavity setting right here, because cavity is going to make those edges pop a bit more. So now we kind of have this shape, and you know what? This is going to eventually start pinching, so what we might need to do is apply the solidify modifier, and then if we control click the top areas, we can press Alt S and expand it this way, because the issue with the bottom is eventually these will start overlapping, like that. But if we expand out this way, they fan out almost. You've seen those what are those fans called? There's like those Chinese fans that you like whip out with your hand. It kind of looks like that. That's like the intuition I have, because it's never going to intersect when it's expanding outwards. So that's why I did that. And what I want to do now is take these edges here and bevel them, and take these edges here and bevel them. We'll just make them nice and varied, and we're going to have a pretty cool little shape here, so nice and fun. And at this point what I want to do is I want to cut something into here, so I'm going to run the N-gon cutter and cut like this, but you're going to notice it doesn't really go straight. So I could hold Control and guess it, but I don't like doing that. So I'm going to press Shift V, and we're going to choose like nearest or longest edge, and what we should be able to do is kind of cut in here and align it to that edge, and then get a similar effect here. We'll press the B key to run a small bevel like that, and I just want to make sure this isn't intruding with the bevel right there, so we'll do something like that. Alright, so that one looks good. Now for the front, I'm not too sure what I want to do with the front yet, if I'm honest, so we're going to leave it like that. So we have like a really simple block out. Looks good, no complaints there, I'm happy with it. Now what we're going to do is come in here and do a similar thing. I'm just going to cut through. You know what, let's go into our box cutter tool and turn on line box, and now we could do something like this. We'll press the S key to scale it, and then the G key to grab it, and I'm going to run a slice. So I'm going to press X and then just cut through and run a small little slice right there. So really simple, and if we ever want to move it back, we can of course just hit it with ever scroll and move it back, no issues with that. Alright, so now that we have this, I do want to have a nice bevel around these areas here. So we can press Control tilde and turn on HN, so that way hard and normals is enabled by default. And then we can just hit it with a very basic defining bevel like that, and then fix the rest with maybe a bigger bevel. You know what, let's make this easy. Let's just bevel this area with a chamfer, Control C to copy that width, and then we're going to go to this one, and we're going to have to apply the bevel. Well, we don't have to, but we're going to have to apply the booleans here. And let's do the same thing on this area. Might even be a good idea to dissolve that one out. It might be intrusive. And then I can just, oops, guess we have to kind of select slower. we're going to do Control B and then paste in that number and just dissolve out that area right there. And we're going to have a nice kind of seamless transition going on. Ignore the artifacts. We'll take care of that in a second. You know what? We'll just do it now. Let's apply the boolean and then just take care of these artifacts. It'll be really easy because all we have to do is just merge this one down, merge this one over, and then we'll just do, you know, dissolve that one out and then merge these together. And you're basically, you know, fine. No issues there. Cool. So we have that and we have this, no complaints. So we just have very basic shape, but it looks cool. All right. So what we could do with this one is we could inset this piece right here, right? And press Q and then shift click on curve extract to kind of extract out like a screen of some sort, which is awesome. Now I don't need a bevel here right now. So I'm going to delete the bevel and apply the solidify modifier here. And let me turn cavity back on. Sometimes it turns off. And I want this screen to kind of go inside this portion right here. And you're going to see, you know, we could just hop into the side view and try to move on the local axes, but it's not exactly the local axis we want. So we can define its own custom axis by going here and clicking on the plus symbol, and now it's going to go along the normal of that face and just slide right up. And I would always recommend going back into global because sometimes you'll end up trying to rotate things and the x-axis is like weird, you know, you're going to be like, what the heck? So go to global and just make sure that's fixed. And I honestly think this is a bit too big, so I'm going to press Alt S and then just move it down a bit lower. And when we press Alt S, always turn on offset even, so that way it's nice and even. Great, so very simple piece back here, very simple piece on the front. And we're just going to run a union. So shift click on both, this one and this one, Q, booleans, and then union, and we're going to have a really nice union there. Now we are going to have some artifacts to take care of, but that's probably because we don't actually need these edges anymore. We just used it for the screen, so I'm going to press Control X to dissolve that out, and we're going to mostly have what we want. The issue with this is the face right here is kind of sitting on top of it rather than going through. So what we're going to need to do is take this bottom face here, if I can actually get it selected, and we're going to need to move this down along that local axis as well. So we'll go back to that face, G, X, and then just move it in, and now it's going to union very nicely with no issues at all. Looks really cool. So we have that. We have the front here. Maybe we could even add in a few cuts. So we'll do like, let's turn off line box and make sure we have this selected. And we're just going to cut like that. And then Alt X, go to modifier, and then just mirror it like that. And we'll have like a simple little, whatever you want to call it up there. I'm going to do a similar thing for this area. Let me just cut in and kind of make a little notch right here. I want to do view align though, so turn on view align like that. And then we'll also mirror this one. You can mirror the cutter or the object itself, doesn't really matter. And this is a bit too, I don't know, it just looks off. So I'm going to move this, make sure we go back into global and just kind of move this up. And we'll have like a little cutout of some sort, whatever you want it to be, you can make it. All right, so the last thing I want to do, because you know, I don't want to spend too much time on this tutorial, is I want to make a little kind of indentation here on the bottom to make it look decent. So let me first just add a nice chamfer on the bottom. I just think it'll be a nice definition to it, as you can see. And then after that, I want to offset this edge here. So if I alt click, you can use Mesh Machine to essentially offset this edge right here. So we're going to move it up, scroll up until it finds the right, scroll up. There we go. We're just going to kind of offset it to about here. Alt click on this and then Control B to kind of get this effect. And then we can essentially just press E, right click, and then Alt S to scale in along the normals like that. And now we have like a little type of indentation going on. Looks pretty cool. And now we just have a really simple SciFi blockout, which you could end up making into your own design. This is what I had from it. It's like a little injector gun thing. Nowhere near done, but it's kind of how I worked it. It's a bit smaller and a bit different, but it's a similar effect. And I just kind of wanted to show you some different ways to get cool looking designs in just a few minutes. You know, concentrate detail. Concentration of detail is really important. You can see I kind of did that here. You could even add in some screws in the back if you wanted to, just to kind of make it look cool. But you know, it's always good to leave a lot of empty space and then have heavy space in different areas of your object. Really important. So really simple video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd love to see what you can come up with after copying this design here. If you enjoyed this one and want to watch a more detailed tutorial including a helmet model with rendering and post-processing, definitely subscribe to our Patreon for this month. It's up right now. You'll have full access to it. $10 a month. Join our Patreon. I think you'll really enjoy this tutorial. It's awesome. So that's about it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.